Number 3, our assistant starter will give the first green flag of the afternoon as he works his way off turn number 4. The field comes down to the line. And Bob, we're about ready to begin.
We're about as close as you can get. Lap number 1 going to be coming up as Dave Trudeau and Sean Manning pick up the green flag from Hank Scarpa. Looks so Trudeau's going to jump out front as he's going to lead the charge down the back straightaway. Looks as though Sean Manning closing in. Here comes Jim Ricks Jr., Chris Burton, and the 90 of T.H.E.
As they work their way off the turn, Trudeau's going to lead them down to the line. Pont gets a little bit out of shape. He gathers it back, goes to the inside of the racetrack. He currently sets in the 7th spot. Darnstead goes to the outside. Here comes Thomas. Pont's got a problem with the handles on the car already. He's lost a couple of positions as now they work their way back off turn 4.
You know, things are a little warmer than they were yesterday here at the Speedway. You gotta have to wonder whether that's going to affect how some of the cars are handling. As Chris Burton pulls it out of line, Burton makes contact with the arm car barrier. The field looks to stack up from behind.
Dwayne Dorr is involved also with the number 16 car, and that is
laps remaining. Dave Trudeau's had matters well to his liking for the first 2 circuits. Jim Ricks Jr. lines up alongside as the green flag is back out. Trudeau jumps back out front.
Trudeau with the advantage. He'll set the pace out front, but look out, here comes Ricks. Outside lane looking strong off turn number 2. Give position number 2 to car number 36, and Ricks will take over the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, a little further back in the field, Pont is down underneath Darnstead. He'll make the move to the bottom. Thomas becomes the battering ram here. He'll try to make the move to the bottom, pushing Manning, as that's the battle for 3rd.
Oh, so one of the competitors smoking a bit through the turns. Not sure whether it's Brandon Clements or Jeff Miller. Clements does appear to be dropping back a bit with the number 67. As again, you can see that smoke coming out through the turns. So the starters are watching that situation as Jeff Miller, our defending track champion, pulls it out of line with the 54. So something amiss with that car as well.
Well, all that's been happening. Roger Perry has been picking them off one at a time. He now sets his sights on Buckley as he'll work the inside lane here. Pont has moved into the 5th spot with car number 61. Still having a problem with the handles on the automobile. Goes through the turn. The back end wants to come right around.
But Hartson makes some contact on the backstretch. Hartson gets the car up on 3 wheels.
Contact being made, of course, with the number 90 machine of Chapman. And Miller comes to a screeching halt at the entrance to the pit. Almost comes back across the racetrack in front of the lead pack of cars. So, well, Bill Leonard returns to the pit area with the number 8 machine, so Gary Danko will be checking out and finding out what's happening there. And it looks like we're going to give the field the white flag, an indication that next time T.H.E. should be ready to go to green, and therefore...
Well, Dennis Perry just took the short trip through the parking lot as Brandon Clements looks to come back out. As the green flag does come out, Trudeau gets the jump down to turn number 1 with Bruce Thomas glued right to his back bumper.
No question about it. Here comes Pont to the inside of Ricks. He'll make the challenge for the number 3 spot. While all that's happening, working his way closer to the top 10 comes Roger Perry as they come off turn number 4 back down to the line. It is Pont who moves into position number 3. Fernald sees the move. He'll try to do the same as Pont. Give position number 4 to car number 07.
Well, down the back straightaway, Thomas looks to the low side of Dave Trudeau, pulls it back in into turn number 4. Can't say enough about the job that Roger Perry's doing out there with car number 12 as he tries to work his way through traffic to get up to within striking distance of Jim Pont, who just cleared another car bent on the backstretch as he moves up to 3rd.
He certainly does, as the challenge is already on up front. We've got a great battle going on for the 4th spot now. Fernald tries to hold it nice and low. Ricks tries to fight back to challenge Jimmy Pont for the 3rd spot. While all that's happening further back in the field, Richard Brooks got a mirror full of Roger Perry as he's right there in his back bumper as the inside lane trying to hold on. Brooks drifts up just a bit, and here comes Phil Evans to the outside of Brooks down in turn 1.
Well, we've got 10 laps into the record books. Budweiser scoreboard shows 40 laps remaining as Jim Ricks Jr. locked in a battle with Jim Pont for that 3rd position as Brandon Clements retires to 67 here on the front stretch.
Look at Ricks. He's putting the pressure on Jimmy Pont to try to take back the 3rd spot as he heads down the back straightaway. Pont's got the straightaway speed. but still is not handling to perfection. Time is starting to click off on the magical clock with 39 and counting down. Pont will still hold on to that third spot. Fernald and Darnstead looking like they're drafting, running nose to tail and bumper to bumper. Now Zanardi and the Evans machine come to life down in turn 3.
Well, it looks as though Mike Fernald now battling with the 36 of Jim Ricks, as that's a side-by-side battle right there. Dan Darnstead right behind, and a pair of very strong running rookies in Mark Zanardi and Phil Evans Jr. Evans working the outside groove. He hooks up behind Ricks down the back straightaway. Looks as though the veterans hook up on the inside as Dan Darnstead and Mike Fernald battle for position.
There's no question about it. They are side by side and wheel to wheel. Down underneath Richard Brooks, here comes Perry. He'll go to the inside. Desilewski is right there. Manning just in front of him as they work their way down the back straightaway. Lap number 36 is showing, and we're counting down as they come back off turn number 4 and back down to the line. Fernald and Zanardi are now side by side in a quest for about the 7th and 8th spot as they head off turn 2.
Well, down the back straightaway. Looks like Nick Papakota giving up the ghost with the Wells Auto Body sponsored Ford, as Papakota looks to retire that car to the infield. Meanwhile, back up in front, it continues to be a dogfight between Dave Trudeau and Bruce Thomas. Those two competitors really have pulled away from Jim Pont, the third-place runner. Pont has the field stacking up behind. Again, a pair of young lions battling right in his back bumper as Jim Ricks Jr. and Phil Evans go to battle.
There's no question about it. That's been a side-by-side race for several laps, and there's still a long way to go. But now to the outside of Fernald goes Roger Perry. Perry is picking them off one at a time, and Pont is very skillfully trying to maintain that third spot. But Roger Perry visually appears to be the quicker car of the two. But there's still a long way to go in this event as now Ricks comes back to life. He'll tap to the back bumper of Pont as he'll try to make a move down in turn 3.
Well, out of turn number 4, we look to click off lap number 19. Again, Pont has the field stack up behind. Looks though Jim Ricks, he's really driving that outside groove like a true veteran. As he battles alongside again Jim Ricks. Battle alongside Jim Pont. Stunt battle alongside Dan Darnstead. Phil Evans Jr. continues to drive on the outside right to perfection.
Well, Ricks has now found a home in the third spot. It is short-lived as Pont will battle back. Into content comes Evans and Darnstead, and look out, there's Roger Perry running the outside real quick in the outside lane as lap number 29 remaining clicks off as they come back to the line.
Well, it looks as though Jim Ricks from that outside groove has taken over the third position. Jim Pont now back to 4th. Here comes Dan Darnstead, Phil Evans Jr. and the 12 of Roger Perry. Perry right there, right alongside the 81 of Phil Evans.
There's no question about it. Roger Perry will now move to the inside of Evans, down to the bottom of turn number 1. Outside is the strongest portion of the racetrack when it comes to Perry. Pont now tries to guard the inside lane. Jimmy Pont's car is not handling well at all, as he's just trying to hold on and ride this situation out. But here comes Perry. Down low to the inside, side by side, they'll head down the back straightaway.
Well, then we're just 2 laps shy of the halfway point. Lap number 24 coming up at the line. Continues to be Trudeau and Bruce Thomas, Jim Ricks, Jim Pont, Dan Darnstead, and here comes Roger Perry. Perry left in the battle with Phil Evans Jr. Evans looking to try the outside groove just like Jim Ricks has been running. Roger Perry's found the outside groove to his liking as well. It's a halfway mark, around 25 down, 25 laps remaining.
Well, they are side by side and wheel to wheel. Darnstead on the inside, Evans on the outside. In diamond formation, it is Jim Pont who leads them down to turn number 3. Pont still holds on to the spot. Perry is waiting in the wings as he'll tuck it back in, looking for that one move that would open up the track to give him a shot at contending with Jimmy Pont. As they come off turn number 2, they're pretty much the same this time, down in turn 3.
Down the back straightaway, watch that battle for the 5th position. Dan Darnstead, Phil Evans Jr. locked in a battle for position. Again, they've got the point leader right in front. Again, that's Jim Pont on board the 61. Evans now looking to the outside of Jim Pont as he's looking to move up to position number 5.
They are side by side and wheel to wheel as they come off the turn. It is Evans who picks up the spot. Trying to hold on to the inside lane. He'll tuck it back into formation. And that puts car number 61 back in the 5th spot. Here comes Darnstead and Perry to apply the pressure there. Down into turn number 3. Pont is off the pace considerably here now, as Darnstead will go to the outside to try to challenge down in turn number 1. Darnstead goes up the hill. Here comes Roger Perry to move back into contend.
4 points separating Jim Pont and Roger Perry. Pont with 854 points to Perry's 850 points. That's a matter of 2 positions to tie for Roger Perry, 3 positions for the track championship. So going to have to watch this situation unfold as Roger Perry right on Jim Pont's back bumper.
Well, there's no question about it. Perry now sets his sights on Jimmy Pont, the current point leader. Comes off the turn. Darnstead comes back to life down the back straightaway. Perry looking to gain some momentum. Here comes Darnstead. Back down low and challenging. Coming off turn number 4. They are almost 3 wide this time. But down into turn number 1, Pont suddenly realizes it is Roger Perry who is moving in at a shot at the title down in turn number 3.
Well, Dan Darnstead locked in a battle with Perry as the laps continue to count down. Less than a Saturday night regular main event at this point, as Jim Pont has Dan Darnstead in the Bill Seafood 0-1 right on his back bumper. Perry just a car behind with the number 12. This time around, Perry's going to try the inside groove with the number 12 as Dan Darnstead works on the outside, dead even at the line.
There's no question about it. They are side by side, and Perry, a little bit out of shape himself that time, gathers it back rather nicely. He'll still hold on. They are evenly matched side by side and wheel to wheel. Darnstead tries it again, but it is Jimmy Pont to still hold off the pressures of the opposition, as there are now 4 cars contending for his spot as they head off turn 2.
Well, we're going to add in Jeff Jegalowski as Jegalowski battling on the outside group with the Toyota Celica as he moves into challenge to 64 of Mark Zanardi as our race leaders. Now in traffic, Dave Trudeau and Bruce Thomas. We've got to keep our eyes on that battle as well, as we've got a pair of cars battling for position right in front of our race leaders, as Chris Williams and Keith Chapman battling for position. So we've got trouble over in 4 as Dan Darnstead and Mark Zanardi have their problems over in turn number 4. As that's
to save his tires as best as possible. Once again, this division does not have radio communication, so that's what they are speculating right now, that he's just trying to save his tires. Ben, Bob?
That's the point of the event, when nobody is going to save anything. If you're going to go for it, you've got to go now. And speaking of that, they are almost 3 wide to the bottom of turn number 1. The only lead change in the event takes place now. It is Thomas who takes over the lead. Outside lane looks racy, and here comes Perry. He'll go to the outside of Jimmy Pont. Up the hill, here comes Trudeau, dirt tracking it off turn number 4. Pont is back in the mix, and Ricks becomes the meat in the sandwich here.
Well, things shake up a bit. Roger Perry has moved in front of Jim Pont. He's looking to move up 1 more position as he moves in to challenge Jim Ricks Jr. in the 36.
Perry now goes to the outside of Ricks, and he'll challenge down into turn number 1. Trudeau's got his hands full. Evans will take over the 2nd spot. Here comes Roger Perry, and Perry is getting closer to becoming the 2000 mini stock title as he'll work his way off turn number 4 back down to the line.
Out of turn number 4, Bruce Thomas looking to add to his win list in the year 2000. Phil Evans Jr. moving into challenge Trudeau for the runner-up spot, so our early race leader is now falling back to the 3rd spot as Jim Ricks and Trudeau get hooked together. They make contact with Roger Perry as Roger Perry's championship hopes may have gone up in a puff of smoke.
Roger Perry comes off turn number 4. Contact is made after a brilliant run from way in the back of the pack all the way to the front of the field to contend. He becomes a victim of circumstances. And Bob, that's an awful tough way to end a season. What a great run he turned in from way in the back of the pack.
You know, it looked as though Roger really was going to give Jim Pott a run for his money in the track championship, as he had made his way past our point leader, as right now the Niantic River transmission wrecker moves in to remove the number 12 of Perry. Perry hops out from behind the wheel, the number 12. Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Roger Perry. Perry, a little hot right now.
Well, with 11 laps remaining in the event, you can see how all the complexion of this one will suddenly change. Perry, who pulled off a great run from coming way in the back of the pack to contend for that title, became a victim of circumstances, no fault of his own. And all of a sudden, the NASCAR officials take the 36 car, call it off the racetrack to the center of the infield for a little bit of over-aggression. Here is the story on that one. Is the Perry machines being hitched up to the Niantic River transmission wrecker, ending Perry's 2000 season quest for the title.
You know, I got to tell you,
For the title, he gave it his best shot. Unfortunately, Lady Luck was not on his side.
So we're going to turn the microphone over to Gary Dank, who's down trackside. Gary?
Well, thank you, Bob. We're standing by with Roger Perry, who drives car number 12. Roger, that was great sportsmanship what you did. You went over and congratulated James Pont. Certainly you're a gentleman on and off the racetrack.
I certainly try to be. I always have been, and I hope to continue to do that. Sorry I had got taken out of this race. Really like to thank the fans over there that clapped and cheered when I went in. I really appreciate that. That shows a lot of sportsmanship on their part. Other than that, I don't have much luck in 50 lappers. Thank you much.
Tell us what happened. How did that altercation happen off turn 4?
97 got a little bit loose. 30, Jimmy Ricks got underneath him, and they come together, and I just had no place to go. They stuck me right in.
Okay, tip break for Roger Perry. Ben, Bob.
Zalewski 3 rows back to the inside, and then Richard Brooks is showing well here today. He's up in the top 6 as we go back to green.
Well, the green flag's back out. Bruce Thomas looking to pick up where he left off. Alan Eastman pulls it out of line with the number 33. Something to miss with that entry. Last week's feature winner. Down the back straightaway, Phil Evans Jr. looking for the race lead as Dave Trudeau now moves in to challenge Jim Pont, as that's the battle for the 3rd position.
They are side by side and wheel to wheel. Pont on the outside. Here comes Zalewski. Throw a blanket over those 3 cars as they head down the back straightaway. Battle is for the 3rd spot, but look a little further ahead, and we've got equally as impressive as the battle for the lead. Back to the line they come. Here comes Pont to the outside of Trudeau down in turn 1.
Well, Phil Evans in the race of his life. He's another very strong running rookie from the year 2000 season, as he's chasing down one of the true veterans in the mini stock wars here at the 1/3 mile oval. Trudeau back to the 3rd spot, followed by Jeff Jegalowski and Jim Pont. Black flag going out to Dave Sylvia's number 88. As Trudeau drifts up the bank and into turn number 2. That opens the door for Jeff Jegalowski in the 55. Jim Pont now moving in to challenge Trudeau for position number 4.
Well, Pont will make the move that gives him position number 4 as Trudeau dropping back on the outside. Here comes the number 10 of Hartson. Now remember, Hartson was involved in an altercation earlier. Sean Manning goes spinning down the back straightaway, but we are still under green as they come back to the line.
We continue to count down the laps. Lap number 44 being scored. Here comes Bud Hartson. Hartson very quiet in this event. However, the caution flag is going to come out. I believe it's coming out for Dave Sylvia, the 77 of Sean Manning.
Well, the Sean Manning car literally was back almost off the racetrack entirely.
So hard work on the Perry crew getting the number 12 back out into competitions. We're just about set to restart this event. Bruce Thomas and Phil Evans Jr. looking for the start. Thomas looking to lead the charge into turn number 2.
Well, there's no question about it. Zalewski finds the inside lane to his advantage. Evans holding on to that second spot, but here comes Desilewski, and Trudeau comes back to life with car number 97. Off the turn, there is less than 5 laps to go in this one. Thomas gets on the brakes hard, a little puff of smoke from the brakes there, as now Trudeau works over Pont, as now the 10 of Hartson will go to the outside.
Hartson very strong in this event, been pretty quiet up to this point as well, as he looks to move in. As Hartson makes some contact with the outside Armco barrier, he looks to gather it back in, but looks so handles may have gone away in car number 10.
No question about it, but Desilewski's making a bid for second. He is down underneath the Evans machine. As he comes off the turn and back to the line, he'll come. Desilewski looking strong. Down underneath Evans. Evans gets a little bit out of shape. Position number 2 now goes to the Shark, car number 55. This time when they come to the line, Bob, 2 laps to go.
Jim Pont coming back to life with car number 61. Pont has been able to keep with the leaders in these closing laps. Phil Evans Jr., Jeff Jegalewski, and race leader Bruce Thomas. As Jim Pont maintains that 4th position out on the speedway. Here comes Bud Hartson again with car number 10.
Well, there's no question about it. The white flag is out, and Evans literally sideways that time coming off the turn. Pont will go to the outside, looking to be on the podium for a top 3 finish. Down into turn number 3, and off the 4th turn, it looks like Thomas is the guy to take down the win. It is Thomas into the winner's circle, Desilewski for second, Evans for third, and the 2000 mini stock champion, Jimmy Pont, will finish in the 4th spot and will be celebrating in the winner's circle as well.
Well, Jeff Miller spin in the 54 as he...
With car number 81, Phil Evans. Certainly had a great run here this afternoon with his machine, the Pageant Auto Body and Sons entry. And first of all, Phil, I'll tell you, you worked your way up to a fine 3rd place finish. Tell us how you think your race went.
Well, I took it easy the first half of the race. You know, everybody else was passing me. I let them go. Everybody else's car worn out. Mine got a little slippery at the end, but we hung in there. I got to thank Jimmy Paget, Paget's Auto Body, Dave Weidler, Expert Tire, my crew, Chowder, Bill, Inc., Emma, my family, everybody, and my chassis man, Joe Coates.
That's Phil Evans trying to get all his sponsors in. He has a fine 3rd place finish here this afternoon with car number 81. Coming home in second, Jeff Jegalewski with car number 55. As he's congratulating our winner, Bruce Thomas. And Jeff, I'll tell you, congratulations are in order going out to you because you certainly had a fine 2nd place finish. You think maybe a couple more laps, maybe you could add something for the leader?
I don't know about a couple, but definitely within 5 laps, I think I could have had him. That was the longest race in my career, and we came from way deep in the pack. The car ran really great tonight. I want to thank, I have a lot of family and friends here, all my nieces, nephews, my whole family, my 2 sisters. I see my mother-in-law, Dennis. Thanks all for coming out.
Now, you mentioned that you had to come up through about the back of the pack there. How did you stay out of all of those altercations that were on the speedway?
Yeah, almost every one of those cautions happened right in front of me, and I was just looking way ahead. It was early in the race, and you got to use your head. And I just saw things coming. People were way over anxious early on, and I stayed out of trouble, and it paid off with a 2nd place finish.
Where did your car handle the best?
Our car was great everywhere. On a longer run, it was by far the best car out here. So, but all those cautions helped those other guys.
Okay, Jeff Jegalewski with a fine 2nd place finish with car number 55. We will come on, wave to the crowd here. Come on, you did a great job here this afternoon. Okay, talk about your win.
Well, if they hadn't gone yellow in the middle there, I think Trudeau might have won it. I was having a little bit of trouble with him. And then in the end, the car wouldn't turn. I thought Phil Evans was going to go by on the outside, but apparently he got a little bit too high.
Certainly, your car seemed to be handling great no matter where you put it. You came through the pack there and got on the number 1 spot, and you're biding your time there.
Right. In the beginning of the race, it was real fast. They could have left that setup like that all night. It'd be really good, but everything got real hot, and then they put a lot of speedy dry down on the car didn't want to turn. So.
Hey, everybody was coming down over here congratulating you. You got a lot of fans, you got a lot of crew members, and of course you got some great sponsors as well. Of course, his main man right over here, as he congratulates him on the job well done. Talk about your sponsors on this maching.
Hey, Burnett's Auto Machine does the motor. awesome power, runs really good. JMD chassis, Jay Stewart sets up the chassis on it.
And of course the full belly deli on the machine.
Delis, Bob Mall and Desired Canine Behavior. In case we need a dog here to get this crowd away from the car.
Certainly a great run for you, Bruce Thomas, here, and what a way on a beautiful day here to put your car in a victory lane in this mini stock event.
Right, it was a good. We had a good time, and I think little Bruce might be driving that next year. I think we got to get him a car. These rookies are getting fast, so I want to put another one out there. You know?
Now, anything that you had to do different to your car to set it up wise, because this was an extra distance race for the mini stock division. What did you do different to the car?
He basically just puts the tire pressures low enough so that in the middle of the race they'll be where we like them. And then that's really all about it. They fixed the chassis like 5 weeks ago. They had a little problem with it we hadn't picked up on. Since then it's been fast.
Okay, the mini stock winner here this afternoon, it was Bruce Thomas with car number 34. Certainly he's got a lot of crew members here. We have to drag him away so we could talk with them. And speaking of a lot of crew members, and going to get a word with him, as right now being videoed down here. Jimmy, first of all, congratulations. You are the 2000 mini stock champion. What feeling is going through your mind right now?
Well, it's a pretty good feeling, and my fans really enjoy it. I'm glad they're happy. I've never seen so many tears, you know what I mean? But, you know, I knew the times were going to get tough out there. I had to make a good choice or a bad choice. The good choice was to stay back and see what happens when the track conditions changed. As soon as the track conditions changed, I knew that I had to back up and just give up the spot. So, you know, it's too bad what happened to Roger. You know, what are you going to do? He's a really tough competitor. He was coming. I wasn't a full ball of steam, but, you know, he did have a fast car.
How about a big round of applause for your 2000 mini stock champion, James Pond, driver of car number 61.